Good evening, guys. Tonight I wanted to make a really quick video basically I'm gonna touch on the subject of upscaling and frame interpolation, since so many people want to. I've seen so many people texting this kind of information, and I hate gatekeeping stuff, like especially when the stuff is free open source. Having to pay for such information to me just seems stupid, so I decided to make a video on it. It's probably gonna be under 15 minutes, hopefully. Super quick. You learn how to do it once and you never really look back. Why this method is superior in a sense is probably because it's actual proper upscaling, and it does not use filters, it does not use um, effects from within After Effects that just further slow down your system or your project or whatever. So this is everything done before using the actual clip, before doing all of the effects. So it no longer really adds another factor of performance degradation or whatever the fuck you want to say for your project. So just to show a really quick example, this is something that you can do. In this case, the model that I use adds some contrast to the output, but the point is still there. The lines are better, less blurriness, more detail in just every sense. It's just better. Maybe the background here is a bit kind of trashy, but this is just to showcase a point. Yeah, this is pretty much what we will try to achieve with using AI and not software or plugins. Not software, as in not plugins from After Effects or whatever. Anyway, so you will need two really important programs for doing this. First and foremost will be Chainer. You can get Chainer from here. This is how it looks. It's Chainer. You can look it up. Chainer GitHub. There, get it. Go to alpha releases. Look for whichever has Windows. Set up the racks. Download it. Install it. Super easy to do. Once you installed it, it should look something like this. You will go to the manage dependencies and download these three dependencies. Just a heads up, if you are an NVIDIA user, you generally want to use the U1NX version, which can leverage the CUDA cores within your GPU much better and can technically, especially on long term, really speed up your work. So if you have a clip that is just, let's say, a minute long, generally will be faster than the PyTorch version. PyTorch, fuck knows, PyTorch, whatever, is generally what you would use for AMD. NCNN is another option that is Vulkan based, but I believe everything is made for PyTorch, or there's an ONNX version. Anyway, this I'm gonna specifically use ONNX here and show you how you do it. So this is how it would look. Let's do a video frame iterator. It's a node-based system, super easy to use, super easy to learn. It's basically plug and play. So you will have two nodes here, pretty much. Right, output frame. This will be the output directory and name. This will load the frames. You will have to choose a video. I have a video here that I wanted to upscale. This one. So this will go to this. This is this basically. You have to load a model. Everything in AI works with models. Models are pre-trained models, basically. I have no idea how else to put it. They're basically stuff that were trained to do a certain task. We will right click outside the border, by the way, and type model. AMD should use PyTorch, NVIDIA should use ONNX. Drag this in. Here, you have to select a model. Models can be easily found in the Upscale.wiki model database, and here you can look at every model that you want. Also, take note the scale matters because there are 2x and 4x scales. 2x upscales the x and y axis. X and y axis by 2x. The 4x model upscales it by 4x. I would say that most of the time you're just better off with 2x in the sense that it's faster. While there's more quality in 4x, it's generally slower. It depends really on the length of the clip. If you have an anime that is, let's say, 20 seconds long, that will take a certain amount of time. What is it called? 20 frames by 20 seconds multiplied by 24 frames is about like what, 480? Yeah, 480 frames. Let's say it takes 1 second to upscale a frame. That is 480 seconds. Fucking God knows, 8 minutes. God knows, I don't know math anymore. So yeah, whatever. You're better off with 2x. You download from here whatever model you want. 1x, animation art for 4x, and whatever. You get the point. Select the model here. We're gonna use this one specifically. I like Sudo's model, really good quality. So you have the model and frame image. The image, the video that I'm inputting is full HD. Most of the videos that are full HD are generally, especially in the anime industry or the anime torrenting. No, that's not a good word. The legally obtained videos that you get are generally bitrate starved, so you're better off downscaling it to a lower resolution. And what I mean by that, since it's bitrate starved, the quality shouldn't get much of a hit, but it speeds stuff up really, really much. So since it works with much less pixels, it doesn't have to work nearly as much with like 1080p content, and I'm gonna elaborate right now. So we use a resize factor. We build a frame image, drag it to image node, image to image. Here we will say that we want the 19x20, 19x80 video to be rescaled by 50%, meaning that it will become 960x540, right? We will also want an upscale image node, AMD upscale image, NVIDIA or NX. We'll drag the model that we have here into this. We will also need an input for model. So we'd say this, we drag the image, as in each frame is basically an image. A video is just basically more frames or more images added together that give the impression of a video or of a moving video. So we input the image into image and into frame. So this in and of itself should work. We'll add some more quality of life stuff. So text append is, we're going to try the model name, the separator, and anime upscaled. Upscaled. Select directory, E for YouTube. Boom. Output video name, drag the output text into video name. So the new video name will be anime upscaled underline in the model name, and that will be combined in here and added here. Very simple stuff, and everybody can use a node-based system. AMD users should probably have a PyTorch here, PyTorch load model with a PTH file at the end, and video users will have a ONNX at the end, the file, the model that you use. PyTorch, boom, boom. We'll also add a view image so that we know the stuff is working. Buck. And now it should be as easy just pressing start here, and it should do the work. It will need a few seconds. So it does about it takes about 0.6 seconds per frame. So for every frame upscaled, it takes a bit of a while. One thing you can do is, prior to upscaling it, you should probably, something I forgot to mention, you should probably deduplicate the frames. And what I mean by that, basically every anime in this world is not running on actual 24 FPS, technically 23.976, call it 24. It's actually made generally on 2s or 3s or even 4s, depending on the anime. What I mean is only one every 2 or 3 or 4 frames are actually drawn. Everything else is basically a duplicated frame, and your brain just fills in the gap. That's how they save money, that's how they save time. And you really can't tell most of the time because of the motion, because your brain is just dumb. Our brain are really dumb. Or yeah. So you would look for duplicated frames. For instance, here, look at his arm, look at all of his body. Everything in here is basically duplicated, except for the fact that there's a scale out that is probably digital anyway. Can we look for frames that... Oh, look, this was made on once, probably. Yeah, this is basically same thing, just different. What you should do in these cases, you should decide on which frame you want to keep and which not, since this has more of a gap here. I would preferably want the second frame, sorry, not the first. And you should do this to the whole thing. And one advantage would be that you no longer have to upscale that many frames, so it saves time. Okay, this should be done by now. Yep. And it is here. And it's still 9020 by 1080, but if you drag this into this, yeah, difference is night and day, especially on the air. There is some chromatic aberration that is skewing with the quality, but maybe you can get a frame that is looking bad. It does mess with the temperature of the colors with the chroma bit. This depends a lot on the model that you're using, but yes, expect some color shift depending on your luck and on the model that you use. Seems to be, yeah, I think it has messed with the white balance a bit, but you can clearly tell that the lines are just, in every sense of the word, better, more detailed, less pixelated, more contrast. Everything is just better, except maybe for the colors. And that is something that you can fix in with the Lumetri color. Anyway, so we have the upscaling done. Let's do the upsampling or frame interpolation. That should be rather easy. Now, we have again two options. You can put the video in, manually delete the duplicated frames, like here, just manually delete them, or within the next software, which is Flowframes. This software, I'm going to show you how to get it. So Flowframes, right? Get Flowframes. This is where you get it from. The public model, what the fuck? The public version right now is 1.36. I'm using 1.39. There won't be any differences. One thing that I will always suggest for now, at least up until model 4.4, just use 4.0. 4.3, 4.4, 4.5, 4.6, I believe 4.6.2 have an issue with jittering. It gets really technical. I don't understand it. Probably you won't either. The thing is, 4.3 and 4.4, 4.1, whatever, is not really that good in the sense that it has a jitter and some frames just have moved around a bit. I would get into more detail if I had an example, which I do actually. I believe it should be in videos. No, it isn't in videos. Whatever. Point is still stands. If you believe me, believe me. Otherwise, it is what it is. So you choose 4.0. If you have a longer video, I would also suggest using the Vapor version, the VS version, because long term it's a bit faster than the normal one, but it has like a round up time, I believe so. That's what you call it. So basically, it needs a bit of warming up because it does the frame extraction on the memory instead of the during the encoding. It's a bit different. One thing. Edit here for YouTube. Nice. It knows the output directory. It knows the frames. Let's choose 4.0. Here change it to 10x. If you really want something slow, you can put 50, 30, whatever number you please. For the sake of this video, just do 10. If you're lazy and you do not want to dedup the frames, you can go to settings, interpolation, use the frame deduplication mode that uses PSNR to detect duplicated frames. This can be a time saver if you're really well. If you have a longer clip, I guess it's better because you don't have to waste time on it, but it depends. I don't know if how accurate it is. You can increase the sensitivity, use the after extraction, slow but more accurate stuff. I'm not exactly sure which one should use, or if you should use it. It's up to you. It's your option. You decide. So this is basically it. You have the input, videos, everything is here. You will put interpolate and this will do its thing. It does the deduplication, it detects the duplicated frames, it deleted 16 frames that it considered duplicated. The 4.0 model does about, on my 1080 Ti, does about 2.8 frames in, 28 FPS out, or frames out. So for every 2.75 frames, there's 37 frames, about 10x. This shouldn't take much, this shouldn't take long. I will also have Flowframes 1.39 in a Google Drive and on files in the description below. Hopefully it will be done soon. Done. So it should be here right now. Oh, it needs to merge the videos, right? So I believe this should be it, but I may be wrong. Oh yeah, this is it. 339.66. Now go to After Effects, import it, and you have the upscale. Oh yeah, this also has some errors. Anyway, Control-AT, Control-AT, Control-R. I have some shortcuts, keybinds. Yeah, the frame removal wasn't quite accurate, but the point is still there. You should probably cut this. Yeah, pretty much it. This is a really dirty way. You should probably do the manual frame extraction. The frame duplication doesn't seem all that great, and it's pretty biased. Yeah, you should probably do it manually. I'm gonna show you right now how to do it manually. So if you want to manually cut it, you look for duplicated frames. This is a duplicated frame. So this was done on 2s. So for every 2 frames right now, I'm gonna do a cut. Oh, seems to me there are 4 frames here. Was it? Oh no, my bad. Okay, now you select them all from down to up, and you have all of these frames. In order to have them in a row, so you don't have um, blank frame in between, you will do right click, have them all selected, of course, right click, keyframe assistant, sequence layers, and okay, and you have everything in a row nicely. Now you can pre-compose this, go and the file export, render queue. Let's do it normally just for the sake of this video. Let's do it properly. I use vocoder because, yeah. Pre-compose this, all done, nice. This is the pre-com. Go into Flowframes, upscale this real quick, and you have yourself. Oops. Wait for this to be done. And you should now have yourself a 240 FPS video. Control A-T, Control R. I have a preset, I believe so. Yeah. This is probably not a good one, but it's whatever. Yeah. Manual frame deduplication is much better. There are some errors, of course, this needs polishing, but the point is still there. Can I apply this? I want down. See how that will look. Yeah, it looks pretty choppy. But on the new clip, the slow is much better. Of course, you can drag this. You can do whatever you please with it. Let's see how this would look. Yeah, shitty. Well, anyway, this was about the whole process. Again, you use Chainer for the upscaling. How the process would probably go to the video, deduplicating manually. As you have seen, the results are typically better. So deduplicating manually, go into Chainer, use a 2x. If you want 4x, you can use a 4x model. I'm recommending 2x. Here a resize, upscale the image, text append. These two are quality of life stuff. This outputs it to whatever folder you want, whatever name. So this is the whole upscaling the video. Upsampling or frame interpolation is done within Flowframes using Rife. You have hybrid, another one that is amazing. I don't know if I talked about it in this video. The one that I currently have installed is a dev version, but this also has, if you ask Salur, the developer, which is an amazing guy of this software, to give you the dev version. Awesome. It's awesome. You can just use this. You go to frame interpolation Rife, choose the latest whatever model you want, and just choose a target either with a factor or either whatever you for FPS you want specifically. You put the video here, output it wherever you want. Use NVENC For AMD, use AMF. Pass through all for audio if you want audio. Doesn't matter. Point is, you can use this or Rife. You're better off probably with Flowframes says Rife thingy. It's just a bit simpler to use. Anyway, that's the whole process. I hope I could help you. I hope maybe some people will not waste their money on tutorials that are basically out there on YouTube and just require some Googling. Maybe there's somebody who did it better than me. This is just the way I do it. Thank you very much. Have a good night.